Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. Every single day of the week, I'm dropping brand new videos on how to improve your communication skills. So if topics like public speaking, social intelligence, emotional intelligence interest you, be sure to hit that subscribe button right on below, hit that bell notification, and never miss another video again. In today's episode, we are entering the world of emotional intelligence, and I'm going to be talking about how to break up with someone. This is a tough topic because the first thing you want to understand, if you're going to understand anything from this video, is that whenever you're breaking up with someone, that person is viewing you as a liar. And here's what I mean. Whenever we're getting into a relationship with someone, there's a thing called the honeymoon phase. And in the honeymoon phase, everything is going well. I mean, we find the person really attractive. We're having great conversations. Our friend circles like each other. It feels amazing. And during the honeymoon phase, we start to talk more about the future. We say stuff like, you are going to be someone that I am with forever. Nothing is ever going to break us apart. And I mean that, nothing. Now fast forward 3 years, and here you are, breaking up with them. They're thinking, you're a liar. You lied to me. It's very similar to if you are working with a new home builder, you give them $5,000 deposit for them to reserve this home for you once they are finished. And as 6 months pass on by, they gave the home to another person. You're going to view this person as a liar. And this is the number one step you need to accept whenever you're breaking up with someone, that they view you as a liar. There is no way around this. And this step is very important to accept because whenever someone does not accept this step, they do two weird strategies, which is what you should not do when breaking up with someone. Number one, they force themselves to get back in the relationship. They're like, okay, I really don't want this person to view me as a liar. And they do have a point. I did tell them that I'm going to be with them forever. Okay, I will force myself to be back in this relationship. So you're forcing yourself, but your heart is really not in it. You're just mainly doing it because you're afraid of confrontation. It's one thing if you're doing it because you understand that life comes with ups and downs. It's another thing if you're doing it for religious reasons. You're like, I made a vow, I must do it. But the only reason you're doing it in this scenario is because you're afraid of conflict. And what happens is that you just prolong the inevitable. Instead of you guys breaking up on February the 2nd, you guys break up on December the 31st. You just wasted more time. So this is what a lot of people do. They are so scared of being viewed as a liar that they just prolong the inevitable. The other thing that people do is that they just disappear from the face of the earth. They unfriend all the friend circle of their partner. They unfriend the partner. They block the partner on phones, everything. And they just disappear from the face of the planet. These two strategies are not how you break up. The first step into breaking up with someone is to understand that they will view you as a liar. And number two is you want to ask yourself the question, how can I give them closure? Whenever you ask this question of how can I give them closure, it opens your mind up. You start to ask this other person more questions. You start to offer more information from your internal world that you wouldn't have done if you just broke up with them and that's it. Instead, you start to learn more about yourself. I mean, why didn't the relationship work out? I mean, it worked out before. They didn't commit any deal breakers. So what happened? A lot of the times, even before you're breaking up with someone, when you ask the question, how can I give them closure? You'll often be led to answers that bring you back to yourself. And you realize that they're doing everything right, but you're doing everything wrong. And it's not smart to break up. And when you realize it's not smart to break up, a lot of the times you will abort the mission before you actually do it. So you won't break up with them simply because you asked, how can I provide you more closure? Other times you will be led to answers that further fuel the argument for the breakup, where you say, whatever the reason is. I mean, I don't know your particular scenario, but let's just say it's you fell out of love with them. You explain to them in a very compassionate sort of way, look, the feelings that I was feeling in the beginning, unfortunately, I'm not feeling it right now. And the reason why is because our work life is just too different. We've had conversations about this many times before. I don't see this being resolved anytime soon. So I just don't know if we can do it. You're explaining more about your internal world to them, and you're giving them more information. The thing to understand is that this is an emotional moment. So you could be as logical as you want, but that does not mean that they are going to process your information right then and there. It's good that you're at least doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing your best to give them closure, but that does not mean that they're going to accept it. A lot of the times they're going to say, no, I think you're just being impulsive right now. We're not broken up. And they're going to force you to stay in the relationship. And at this point, it really depends on your assertiveness, where how much are you committing to the decision? You cannot waver in scenarios like this. That's why I often say, once you break up with someone, it is not smart to keep in touch, because if you keep in touch with them, at one moment you are committing to an idea, 6 months pass on by, and then you're now second guessing yourself. Unless you have kids with them, never stay connected with an ex. Okay? So a few of the things that we talked about is, number one, accept that they are going to view you as a villain. And number two, ask yourself the question, how can I give them closure? By asking this question to yourself, a lot of the times you will be presented answers that don't really focus on them, but focus more on you. And when you realize that you are the issue, a lot of the times you will realize that you don't have to break up with them. Instead, you need to work on your own issues. And in scenarios like that, you are ultimately not breaking up with them. Other times when you ask the question, how can I give them closure? You realize that a lot of the answers do deal with them. You need to present the information to them, and you need to commit to your decision. After the breakup unfortunately has occurred, I believe in the phrase called North Carolina. NC means no contact. So that's slang, of course. Whenever someone says, go North Carolina, they mean go no contact. By going no contact, you allow this other person to move on, and eventually, one day, hopefully, they get the closure that they deserve. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and drop that like if you enjoyed today's talk. I'll catch you next time.